welcome to this episode of my Women Empowerment Wednesday show. My name is Jessica DSB. Enjoy this episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Women Empowerment Wednesday call. I'm super excited to be with all of you today and with my special guest that I'll be shortly introducing. My name is Jessica. I've been a flight attendant for the past 10 years. I'm also a single mom to a beautiful 7-year-old daughter, as well as co-authoring my second book and being a coach and running my online business. Super, super excited to be with all of you today. For those that are just joining this call this week, just a reminder of what we've been up to. So this Women Empowerment Wednesday is a Facebook Live that we're trying to do if technology is on their side. So we do apologize about that not being live today, but we are recording now and we'll be, you'll see it on our Facebook page. So this is a movement that we started a few weeks back, so last month, about having conversations that are empowering, touching, inspiring, and not only having conversations with me and our special guests, but also empowering other people in your life. So this is really a movement that we wanted to create with Jamie that is no longer continuing with me, but super excited to be with all of you today and introduce you Miss Hailey Patry. Said it right. And this amazing lady is the true happiness coach. She's a marriage mentor, and she is known as the world's happiest woman. So super, super excited to be with her today. She is a speaker around the world, a coach. She's coached thousands, over 20,000 people. She is part of 3 international best-selling books, and she came out with her book in the fall about happy love. Super excited that she shares about that today. And happily married, mom of 3 beautiful boys that I got the chance to meet. Super exciting. So let me have her share with us today. I'm so happy that you're here with me.
Beautiful, Jessica. I am so happy to be here with you today. I have missed you so much. It is always such a pleasure to hang out with you. And thank you very much for having me on your show, because what better thing to do on a Wednesday when people are hitting that, than empower some fantastic women. And you know what? If there are men watching, that's okay too, because empowerment, we're happy to share. So we're talking about love, baby. We're talking about love today.
We are talking about love. So we were chatting a few days ago, and we're like, okay, let's talk about love. Hailey mentioned and I was like, what an incredible topic to share. Just before we get into that topic, I want to share how I got to meet you. I think it's important where I was 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, actually. I was at a women empowerment conference, and I met this lovely lady, and she was giving 30 minutes free of coaching. And that moment, I don't know if you remember this, I said, what do I need coaching for? My life's good. That's what I had told myself at that moment. And then literally 2 months after that, I'm reading your chapter in your, remind me the book.
Oh, that was the first one, Empowering Women to Succeed.
Yes. Yes. So I'm reading that chapter and I'm crying my eyes out because I'm connecting with your story. You see, like, and I'm also sharing the power of, sharing your story in books. And I reached out to you. And I remember telling you the first thing, and at that point, I was still in my relationship, but things were not going well. And not going well. And I was sharing that with you, and I was in a parking lot, not being home, right? Because I didn't want to share this around him. And I'm crying and I'm saying, Hailey, if I decide to leave this man, I will no longer be in love again. I will not find another relationship. I'll just stay alone the rest of my life.
Even worse than that, you were just gonna stay the rest of your life.
Yes,
So it
that
was
too.
it was all those layers that we
Mm,
go through, from it's not good and I feel trapped,
mm,
to if I actually go through the hard work of leaving, I'm never going to do this again.
mm,
And of course, that changes in time too. So there are so many kinds of love right now in the world, but there's a whole breed of COVID love challenges because it depends on the kind of couple people are. And I think it's perfect, Jess, that we started our journey together
mm.
around your love life. And today
Yes.
we're here to talk about COVID love. So my status is married to my second and forever husband.
Mm,
We've been together 10 and a half years. Our three kids are all boys, age 14, 5, and 4. But we've been through a boatload of trauma together. Our marriage 6 years ago was super rocky, went through so
so
I'm
you were
married, but it
cutting.
wasn't always that way.
Mm.
How about you, Jess? What's your love status?
So I was sharing that story when I met you because I didn't know what to do at that point, right? And then I made a decision with your coaching, with your support, and that's where I wanted to get into the why I was sharing that is through your coaching, through your support, through your love and your happiness of who you are, I was able to refine that love for myself,
Yeah.
to love myself, make the decision that was the best for me and my daughter at the time and still is, um, and believe and have faith and instill that, yes, it's possible to be happy and in love. So thank you for doing all of that. And so my status is
You are most welcome, my dear. And you're this beautiful, shining light inside and outside. You know, there are some people that are so beautiful on the outside and the inside doesn't match. Or they're so beautiful on the inside, but the outside doesn't match. You're one of those rare gems, Jessica, where you truly are magnificently beautiful inside and out. And I'm so glad that you claimed your self-love and changing your plans to be the safest, best for you and your daughter.
Thank you. So to answer your question, so at that time that we started working together, I made the decision that I was leaving my boyfriend at the time. We had been together for 4 years, and it was difficult because he was the one that took care of my daughter, right? He was the one that raised her. So that was the most difficult part, was to leave that family life. And I made that decision and I moved out. So I've been single for over 2 years now. And now the discussions that we had a few days ago with this COVID happening is I decided to come back in the house that we were living together so that we could co-parent together. I found it was the best option, the best case scenario with the circumstances of what's happening now. So I love that we touched on, and I want you to share with everybody, yes, there's all different of situations right now, all different kinds of love. So please share.
And sometimes there's different kinds of households without the love.
Yes.
So I think there's many forms of love in general, but right now with what the world's been going through with COVID-19, there are some couples that were so happy before, and they've really been rocked to their core. Having both spouses home all day, having kids, if they have children, out of school all day, especially if those kids have any support workers. This is really intense for some couples who liked their old life, the one where people left the house and went to work, kids left the house and went to school or daycare or babysitters. And now that there's together, like divorce rate.
No, it's cutting out.
Okay, I'm gonna go headset. Hang on.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Technology. It's what it
Yay,
is.
technology. We love you,
Yeah, we
technology.
love you.
How's that now?
Yes, good.
Okay, beautiful. So you can hear me okay on your side?
Perfectly.
Awesome. So there are some couples that were great before, and with COVID-19, things have become rocky. It was rocky before, and because of being home together through COVID-19, with all this extra time, they've actually been working on their issues. I know for clients of mine that are under the care of marriage counseling, talking
Cutting
more.
out.
We're cutting again.
Yeah.
How about now? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Technology. We
Yay!
love you, technology.
Okay,
Just
so
like go like this if you don't hear me.
okay.
So we've got happy couples before COVID that are struggling right now.
Mhm.
We've got couples who were struggling before COVID that are doing better right now.
Mm.
And then we've got couples that were in a scary place before COVID. They were just about to end their relationship or marriage. Separation. We're still cutting?
Yeah. I don't know if it's
Technology.
the internet.
Let's see. Still cutting on your side?
Mm-mm. It's just like it happens for a few seconds, but it's just we miss a few words that what you say.
Maybe it's because I talk too much.
No, it's because it's so valuable what you're saying, so they need to hear every word.
Okay, take 32 today. Wait till you guys hear the backstory. Oh my gosh. Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, first kind of couple, they were happy before COVID-19, and right now it's really challenging. Second kind of couple, it was challenging before, but actually COVID-19 is helping. The next kind of couple is the one I'm worried about the most right now. These are couples where they were just about to end their out of their relationship. Technology.
Out. I can't hear you.
Oh, baby, baby, what is technology doing today? Speakers, let's just see. Microphone. Select a microphone. Let's try again. Speakers. Switch. Leave computer. Let's try again. I don't know if that's going to change anything, but we'll try.
Let's try. Okay, you can go after third because I think we've heard the 1 and 2 and 3.
Got it. We've got it. So, and then there's the house like yours, Jess, which is some couples that were already separated. They had already ended their love relationship, but they've been keeping their parenting relationship alive, have had to make some creative arrangements, just like you guys, to say what's in the best interest of our kiddo right now, or our multiple kiddos, or our elderly parents that we're looking after. So there are some really interesting family households right now that are not love couples, but they're doing their best. And I don't know, they say that there's going to be a wave of coronial babies from all the new sex people are having. Not if you're living with lots of kids who are out of school all day. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know what house they're talking about, but
No kids, maybe.
yeah. So my mission, Jess, as you know, is to lower the depression rates and lower the divorce rates. And right now, as the media is talking about the boom that they're expecting in divorces post-COVID-19, we've got to keep in mind that it's also going to be all the separations that were going to happen over the last 3 months that have been on hold. They're all going to happen at the same time. And maybe we can support couples in not having to go through that. So from your friends, do you know any friends that are in those situations? Good before, but it's crappy now? crappy before, but it's better now. They were about to leave and they're going, holy crap, I'm stuck. Or they're doing what you're doing, which is it's kind of a weird situation for the greatest good.
I can't think of anybody specially in mind, but the friends that we've been in touch, yeah, they're happily married and they're making things work with this current situation with the kids.
Yes. And it takes creative planning because if you're used to having alone time, I know my husband and I, the thing I miss the most during COVID is our date night. We've had
Mm,
our date night every single week for the last 10 years, even since our kids were 1 week old. And I really, really miss alone time with him. Like,
mm.
really miss. Sometimes we just want to say to the kids, can you guys go outside for half an hour, play in the garden so Dad and I can, like, get naked?
Have some mommy and daddy time. So
Yeah.
what would be your best advice right now for whether couple 1, 2, 3, or even 4, like co-parenting? What would be your best advice to keep things going?
Schedule and boundaries.
Mm,
My favorite question that my husband and I ask all of our family members every night is, what would make tomorrow amazing for you? And we go around the room and everybody gets to say, at least we start with one thing, what would make tomorrow great for you? So if you're in a crowded house right now, and all houses feel crowded if you've got a partner and kids, but we got to keep in mind, Jess, there's also the opposite. There are those houses where there's only one person living there. They
yeah.
feel so isolated, so lonely. The silence is deafening.
Mm,
But in the relationship households, you've got to stake your claim on what you need to have a good day. So if you need the TV from 7 a.m. to 8 because you want to do live streaming yoga, or if you need the kitchen at a particular time because you're making your healthy meals for a cleanse, it's about declaring what would make your day great and asking your spouse or partner or kids to really respect that time for you and that boundary. We can't just have all people in the house in any room they want at any single time bumping into each other. And
mm,
so a little bit of structure actually sets us free. And I know my husband and I each check in and say, how's your sanity? How are you holding up? Is there anything you need to get through the second half of the day? So I think it's about being first self-aware, having enough self-worth to care about what you want, and then being respectful enough to the other people in your house to ensure that you're honoring what they need as well.
Love that. Love that. Your words matter, right? So
Yeah.
open your mouth and declare what's important to you, even though you're sharing that space. And I can even add for myself that there's also a roommate living here as well. So we're all like in this house together. And I love that you're talking about structure because that's exactly what we've been doing. I've been, okay, Kevin, I have these meetings around this time. Okay. And then around that time, we're going to go for a walk outside. So it's been part of our daily lives. And it's something that we've touched on a few weeks ago with Miss Kelly Chiasson, which she has 4 kids at home. And
Yes.
she was sharing how important it is to have that structure, that planning in every day in the agenda and knowing the kids what they have to do, right?
Because if you go with this, the daily mush, like we'll just go with however it goes, you become like the teenager who goes to bed way too late, gets up at 2 o'clock, never gets dressed, doesn't brush your teeth, is on TV, phone, screen, video games, and at the end of the day, you're saying, I didn't accomplish anything today. So,
Mm.
in order for us to have days that are good for our own self worth, our own self esteem, our own self respect, and the value of our relationships, a little bit of planning goes a long way. And it's not about being rigid in the structure. It's about if we honor the structure when we're supposed to do X, we do X. And we
Mm.
can look forward to all this free time afterwards. But
Yes.
if we fuzz the lines, we wake up too late, we start our workout too late, we get our meal prep done too late, then every part of the day gets eaten into, and you don't have that nice, beautiful evening wind down. So for couples, if you've got kids, the most precious time of the day is when they're finally sleeping. Ah. And here's the thing, if you delayed your other priorities, like if you had chores to do and you didn't do them yet, Well, it's not going to be sexy time. It's going to be laundry time.
Mm.
And if you had computer work to do for your business or your job and you were dogging it during the day, oh, now that the kids are sleeping, do you really want to do that? Is your mind really alert? The way I look at it, Jess, in my house, when the kids are finally sleeping, I already want to be showered. I
Yes.
want my work day done. I
Mm.
want the chores done. And I want to just enjoy quality time with my husband. So, ladies, if you have a person in your life that you care about right now and you live with, don't assume that because you're home all day that any of it counts for quality time. Quality time is when our phones are away, our eyes are in their eyes, our body language is present and with them, and we've got nothing else happening other than whatever you want to do together. We need some quality time right now because we're getting tricked. We think we spend all this time with your spouse or your partner, but not quality time. It's chore time, transactional time, kids time, homeschool time, business time. It's not the kind of time that helps you fall in love again or stay in love.
So powerful. I love it. Now, you're talking about couples, but there's a lot of single people and people
Yes.
that are alone in their home. So, what would you say to these people?
I read the coolest article in the New York Times this week, and they were talking about, it was a famous matchmaker, and she was talking about how much of a gift COVID-19 can be to the dating scene. Because there's two really awkward things that you don't have to deal with right now, and that is sex and money. Because you can't have sex with social distancing, and you can't fight over who picks up the tab when you've maybe met someone online, you're finally meeting in person, and you have to have this awkward conversation of who pays the bill and when's it okay to get naked. So with those two things off the table, you can actually build a real intimate, emotional, intellectual connection. I'll tell you, Jess, when I fell in love with my husband, we talked for a month before our first date. I already loved him on the phone.
Wow.
Because we weren't in person trying to look our best, behave our best, we could get really raw and vulnerable in those phone calls. We knew everything about each other than would we have physical chemistry. And so I think, you guys, that this is actually causing a nice slowdown in the rush to date in person. And the advice that they quoted in the article was, if you are online dating right now, don't have a short list with more than 9 people on it because it's enough to make your head spin. As soon as there's someone that you want to have a deeper conversation with, press pause on the other 8 and go into some real meaningful conversations with that one person. Use COVID-19 as a way to have your inside you fall in love with the inside them. And as soon as the regulations allow, once you meet in person, you'll have a stronger foundation, the kind to build a healthier relationship out of. So if you are single right now and searching, it is okay. The pandemic does not need to be the death of your love life, maybe the death of your sex life for a little bit. And on that note, it's important that you have means that you feel like you can nourish your self-love, self-sex relationship so that you're really not like desperate to get out there and be with other people and maybe make decisions too quickly that you could regret. No one's ever regretted having sex with themselves because you can't pick up anything and you can't get pregnant. So you're safe. You're safe.
Well said. I love it. Oh my God. Thank you. Like, I'm learning so much. Always so valuable. Let me hear you talk about your incredible book that I can't wait to read.
You're a sweetheart, Miss Jess. This book, Happy Love, all of the information is up on the website, which is yourhappylove.com. Happy Love was written this past summer because the process I use with my marriage coaching and my relationship coaching, just it works so fast. Within 1 to 2 sessions, couples already start to fall in love with each other again. And last year, I was having some health issues, some neurological issues where I was losing my words to speak and my words to write. And I got very scared that if I couldn't talk anymore or coach people anymore, I wanted to make sure the world had my process so that couples all over the world who were struggling, especially if they had been through trauma such as infidelity, that they could pick up the book and use it to coach themselves and go through my process. So the good news is my brain is fine. I can talk again, as you can see.
Yeah.
And but I'm so happy that I put this book out because it goes through my 5-step ideal love method and the 6 secrets of happy couples, which are really 6 skills. Without that process and without those skills, love is hard, period. But with those skills and with that process, love just flourishes naturally. I can give you a little taste of it, but the 5-step ideal love method. So if you are in a couple relationship right now, here it is. The I in ideal stands for inventory. Take a look at the 16 things that make up your relationship and ask yourself, how are we doing so far? And I'll share with you some of those areas include appreciation, romance, love and kindness, resiliency, finances, division of labor, spousal health, spousal attraction, sex, intimacy, fun and adventure. I mean, there are a ton of pieces that make up a great marriage. And so inside step 1, which is I, take inventory of your relationship right now. The D stands for design the better version. So if right now you have complaints, talk to me about what you'd rather it look like, and let's create that. Step 3, which is the E in ideal, is to eliminate and ease the roadblocks. If it was as simple as knowing what to do, you'd all be happier in love right now in perfect relationships. So even when well-intentioned couples know what to do, something still gets in the way. Why? Let's figure it out. The A is where we action plan and actually figure out what steps are going to make your love relationship better. And the L is to learn the 6 secrets. And they are you ready, Jess? Do you want to know what they are?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Number 1, learn about yourself the way you prefer to be loved and teach your partner. When you love each other in the right way, it's like brownie points and fills your cup so fast. The second step is you got to learn how to have conversations that cause connection. There is a simple art and there's a simple formula to having a perfect heart-to-heart conversation. The next part is to clean it up when you screw it up, because you will, because you're human.
Yeah, that's
There's
what we do.
yeah, there's no perfect partner, but there's a perfect apology. The 4th step is to learn how to negotiate, how to ask for what you want, how to get what you want, and how to negotiate through compromises in your relationship. The 5th is how to turn up the heat with your physical, intimate, lovemaking connection. And the 6th is how to date each other. Like, how do you actually create quality time and make it so good that it helps keep the in-love feelings present or brings them back when they've been dead for a long time. So the book has got everything in there. It's 236 pages of total love. And we're giving a gift to your listeners, which is they can go to the website. They get any chapter they want for free.
That's amazing. I'm so inspired from knowing you, from working with you. I'm just like, and then you creating that book, 236 pages. And with all that you've shared now, I cannot wait to read it. So please go claim your gift. Hailey is sharing the page right now, how to get in contact with her, schedule your 30 minutes coaching with her. I'm telling you, 30 minutes, oh my God. You're going to be opening things, you're going to be learning new things, and you're going to be you're going to feel her energy, her positive happiness coach energy. So take advantage of that 30-minute coaching. This is her number. Do you want to say something, Hailey?
You are so kind, Miss Jessica. It's my favorite gift to give to the world. There's 2 of them. So the first gift I love to give you is if you are in a love relationship right now and you are trying not to go crazy and run away from your spouse, then by all means go onto the website yourhappylove.com. There's 18 chapters. It'll give you a little overview of all of them. You can text me whichever one you'd like for free, and it is my pleasure to send that to you so you can get right into enhancing your relationship as your own coach. All the chapters have worksheets and tools. It's all free, and I jam-packed it with love because you're worth it. So that website is yourhappylove.com. But if you're listening right now and you need more than a free chapter and some worksheets, you really need somebody to just hear what you're going through and see outside your fishbowl. Give you some suggestions, some advice, some solutions to the challenge, whether it's for your personal happiness or your relationship. You can send me a text. That is my private confidential cell phone, and it would be my absolute pleasure to spend 30 minutes with you, and let's actually break through something that you are stuck about, because you're worth it. So take down that number real quick, because I'm going to end the screen share so you can see the beautiful Miss Jessica.
And you can also, if you didn't capture the number, message me or find Hailey on Facebook, and get her information, her number. And I want to touch on what you just said. And I shared that in our first Facebook Live. We sometimes, or a lot of times, when we're going through tough times, we always think, I'm alone. I'm alone going through this, or I'm alone. I can't reach out to people. I'm ashamed. Whatever story you have in your head. And by reaching out to somebody like Hailey for 30 minutes, you will understand that, yes, you're not alone, and that you have somebody that you can be listened to, and that can completely transform the way you're actually feeling in these difficult times. So take advantage of that.
And there's hope, right?
There's
Like,
hope.
I have a massive list of my own coaches and mentors that pour into me, because when I'm in my own life, my own mom role, wife role, just me and my self-love relationship, just like you, all of you listening, we can't see on the outside of our own fishbowl. The glass is so thick that everything looks blurry on the other side. And it's so much easier on the outside for somebody looking in to say, there's this thing in your blind spot. Did you ever consider this? And it's like, so easy now. So yes, it's really great to find out that you're not alone, but also that there's hope. And Jess, I just wanted to tell you really quickly, because we're talking about unique love today, strange love, variations of love. One of my favorite clients of all time, other than you, because I love you. Of
course.
It's a couple that I wrote about in the book, and they were so gracious enough to let me tell their story. They met me in July, and they had not had sex for 10 years. 10 years. He was having an 8-year affair, but she didn't know. And she just found out this summer. So as you can imagine, she was devastated, and that marriage was headed to end. They were referred to me, and after our first 2 long, loving sessions, guess what happened? Not only did they start to fall in love again and do some tremendous healing work, they started to make love again. These guys are in their 60s, and they make love more than 5 times a week. They are beating my house, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
So this December, they went to Costa Rica. They renewed their vows, which I helped them write, in front of their children and their granddaughter. So I want you all, if you're listening and your relationship is safe but unhappy, let's do the distinction. If your relationship is unsafe, I want to help you get safe now.
Yes.
But if your relationship is safe, just unhappy, there's so much hope. And couples really can fall in love again. You can make a new marriage or relationship to the same person if you both want to make it good. And Jess, I mean, what advice do you have for people on love? Because you thought you could never feel anything good again.
And I just want to share on what you just said. There's hope for married people or not married, but there's hope for single people. And that's what you instilled in me. And I know there is hope. I know I will be in love again. It's coming. I'm super excited. And there's hope for all of you out there.
Especially single parents. So let's talk about, I have this funny theory about why men love single women, who are like single mothers. And here's the funny theory. So this might be controversial. When you and I both met, you had one child, and when I was a single mom at the time, I had one child. So I left my first marriage for mine and my son's safety and well-being, and I was a single mom for 3 years before I met my husband. So Often when a man takes a partner and she hasn't had kids yet, she might be a certain kind of fun. She might have a certain sex drive. She might have a certain level of attention for him. And he doesn't know until after they've had children together what might happen to her, both because of her hormones changing, the demands of motherhood, the physical changes in her body. So when a man meets a single woman, a single mother, and he says, you're fun, you're outgoing, you're cool, and you have a sex drive, and you've already had kids, it's like an insurance policy. You're
Done.
safe.
Where do I sign?
So single mamas, fret you not. There is so much love available, whether you're looking for companionship that's not a live-in relationship, or whether you're looking to have family again, get married again, perhaps have more children again. There's no end to the possibility of your love story other than the end you believe for yourself. So when Jessica believed she would never get to love again, while you believe that, it's true. When you believe you're unlovable, you are. But the moment you heal and correct your beliefs and realize you are so worth it, you are so lovable, when you can love being alone and not need a partner, you become a lot more worthy of a great partner. And when anything is possible. So Jess, you and I probably have a similar view on this next point, because I bet you have some single moms in your audience.
Yes.
When's the right time for the guy or girl to meet your kid or kids?
Oh my God. I think everybody has a different view of this.
You and I have the exact same view, though. You and I both believe the same thing, and that is you might as well meet our kiddo right away, because if you don't love them and they don't love you, I don't want to fall in love with you.
Yes, and that's one thing that's non-negotiable. If you don't love my child as you're loving me, it's a no-go for me, because my daughter is part of me.
She's your number one.
Yeah.
And so my friends, if you are currently about to become divorced and you have children, or you are already single with kids and you're a little bit nervous about how does that go in the dating scene and when should you introduce your child to someone, there's two very different schools of thought. All of the conservative parents in the world, I mean, like our parents, they say, wait till you're ready to get married again before you introduce somebody. In our generation, I'm seeing a lot more of what you and I believe, which is, why waste the time and potentially hurt somebody to get your heart invested, your body invested, your finances invested in a relationship if it's not going to be a good dynamic with the kids? And I'll tell you, when I met my husband, we knew each other for 30 days, talked on the phone, had an extremely strong love connection. From our first date, he met my son 10 days later. And the reason we're together today, we had a date. It was around Valentine's. It was 8:00 at night. And I said, excuse me, I'm going to be back in half an hour. I have to go put my son to bed. Here's the TV remote and I'll be back.
Entertain yourself.
Yeah. He came with me to put him to bed. He read him a story. He cuddled with him. And I said, I'm going to marry this man. So there's something really beautiful and tender and sexy about being able to see your future potential partner. How do they do in that parenting dynamic? If they don't get to interact with your kids, they don't get to know. And all I shared with my son at the time was, mommy's friend is coming over. He's going to have dinner with us. We're going to watch a movie. I wasn't going to break my son's heart and tell him about it being a love relationship until we knew for sure. But it was totally okay for them to hang out together. And their bond is part of what helped me love him so much so soon.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And some parents might be worried actually for the reaction from the kids, right?
Yeah.
But coming from a family that my mom separated with my dad at a very young age, and then I had my stepdad that took care of me, kids are resilient. Kids adapt to the situation. And as long as the mother is safe and in a loving relationship, don't worry about the kids. They'll be fine.
And kids badly want to be around loving, kind, caring adults. And I think that kids deep down, their first wish is for their parents to be happy and love together. When that's not possible, their second wish is to have both their parents be happy, even if that means being with other people. And and my husband's family does this so well. My husband's mom and stepdad get along beautifully with his dad and stepmom. And at our wedding in Jamaica, his mom and stepmom, both of my beautiful mother-in-laws, walked him down the aisle arm in arm. And so there's many beautiful ways for blended families to end up. But I think there's a lot of controversy on dating with kids. Yeah. And I think that you make it harder for yourself if you wait really late to introduce somebody to the kids. We should mention, Jess, why there's that other school of thought. So the reason the other belief is don't introduce someone to your kids is because kids will build attachments to this new adult in their life, and that can be hurtful for them if that adult isn't going to stay as a permanent fixture in your life. Yeah. That's why we introduce somebody as a friend as opposed to your, future step parent. So you have time to see where that is going.
Amazing. All right. We are going to wrap up because I know we could obviously talk for another 2 hours, but you have in your agenda to spend time with your kids every afternoon, right? You're about to go for a bike ride or hiking. Really just to re-talk about what we talked about today, love and hope. I think those are the 2 words that really stuck out from. So please, the people that are going to be watching this video, share in the comments what was your biggest takeaway, what do you think about what we shared, and reach out to Hailey for your free gift. I'm so excited. Do you want to say something to wrap up?
I love you so much, Miss Jessica, and I am so proud of how much you have shifted over the last couple years. And you said it at the very beginning of this video. We're talking about love today, and of course the assumption is that's romantic couples love. But what changed in you first was self-love. And what really shifted in you was the more you loved yourself, the more you got compelled to help other women love themselves. Here's the thing, my friends, relationships are made out of 2 people. And if they're both very fractured and they both don't have their own solid individual foundations, we can't take 2 broken parts, mush them together, and make one solid whole. And so before it takes 2 to be happy in love, it takes 1 to be happy in self and self-love. And if you are currently single, this is the perfect time to become the very best version of yourself and love every version of yourself, so that what you put out there in the dating world next is really a supreme version of you, because we choose our love partners to be a match for our self-worth at the time. So if you're really bored during COVID-19, dial up your worth. There's tons of great personal growth programs, podcasts, books, offers. Reach out to Jessica and I, but we love you.
Book on Amazon, right?
Totally.
I want to finish. I had 2 quotes that I took out, and it's exactly on self-love. I'm so happy that you're finishing it like that. So the 2 quotes that I took is, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you.
Yes.
Right? So very, very important. And then to fall in love with yourself is the first secret to happiness.
Amen, beautiful sister. You give me goosebumps. And I just wanted to show you I brought my heart for all of you today.
Love you guys. Comment, watch the video, share it, reach out to me, reach out to Hailey. I'll see you next week with another incredible guest. And I'm so excited. Thank you for watching. Love you dearly, Miss Hailey. And I'll talk to you soon.
Jessica. Mwah. Bye, everyone.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share with the people that you love and care about. Jessica DSB.